Welcome to Empowering You with Cynthia Fontaine, where your transformation begins. This isn't just a show, it's your invitation to unlock personal power and trust your inner wisdom. Each episode, I'll guide you to release what holds you back and reconnect with the truth already inside you. Because when you align with your intuition, everything changes. You didn't find this by accident. You're ready. Let's begin.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Empowering You with me, Cynthia Fontaine. I'm so happy that you're here. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a different show today, although some things might seem familiar if you have seen some of my other shows in the past. And I like to give you tools that can help you in your life. And I like to give you an oracle card. I'm also going to start with a tool that I like to use first thing in the morning, or if I'm feeling anxious, and it's super simple. You can do this anywhere. You can be in the supermarket, sitting at your desk. Just takes a minute and it helps calm your nervous system. So what you're going to do is you're going to feel your feet on the floor. So you can do it if you're lying down, but it's easier if you're standing or if you're sitting, because you want to have your feet connect in with the earth. And so feel your feet on the floor and really put weight into them. Feel like the floor is pressing up to them and your feet are pressing down to the floor and they're really connecting. And then take a deep breath in, breathing, filling your abdomen first. So this is called belly breathing. And if you don't know how to do this, you can watch a baby if there's a baby in your life, or watch on YouTube. You'll notice when they breathe, their bellies go out. Their chest doesn't expand first, their bellies fill up. So fill your belly first, and sometimes you have to focus a little bit on it. So breathing in, focus on your abdomen and pushing it out, filling the air. And as you do that, you'll notice your shoulders will drop, and then the oxygen expands the lungs from the bottom up. And I've talked about this before, how it's important to do deep breathing like this because when you expand your abdomen, it actually pushes on the bottom of the lungs. And then when you exhale, any toxins or any things that are trapped in the bottom of your lungs will then go out and be exhaled out. So it's an important breath to do regularly, even just to clear your lungs out. When I had COVID twice, and one of the things that my homeopathic doctor gave me to do was to do those deep breathings, because we didn't want the COVID to get deep into the chest. And this is not medical advice because I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just sharing my own experience. And it worked. It really did help. And the COVID never went deep into my lungs, thankfully. So as you're breathing in, I also want you to then focus on the top of your head, your crown. This is your crown chakra. And each of us have these chakras that spin like wheels. We have 7 physical chakras. You may be familiar with them. We have 5 spiritual center chakras, and those are kind of in between the physical ones. And the crown chakra at the top of your head points right up to the sky, and it spins in a clockwise direction. If sometimes it spins counterclockwise, and it can be if you're not feeling well, or if you are disconnected from spirit. If you're disconnected from spirit, then it can be completely closed. But you want to focus on just the top of your head and imagine sort of like a tornado, right? Starts coming from the top of your head, spinning, 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 and open it up. So it opens up like a funnel, like the top of a tornado is bigger. And then imagine light from the universe, because everything is made of light in the universe, including us. When you break it down to the most simplest form, we're all light, and we're light beings, and everything in the universe is made of light. And so imagine this beautiful golden or white light above the top of your head, and it's coming through your crown chakra, through the funnel, down into your head, and imagine it just washes all through your entire body, washing. And as it's moving through your body, imagine that it's cleaning up any cells that might not be right or aren't healthy for you. It's clearing up and grabbing on to any emotions that you're feeling if you're feeling overwhelmed. And imagine this light is just, it's all attracted to the light, right? Because things are attracted to light. So it sticks to the light like a magnet as it goes through your whole entire body. Just trust the process. Whatever you're ready to release will be released. And again, as it goes through the body, you can feel it, imagine it coming out your fingertips and your palms, and then the light coming down through your torso and your legs, down through your feet, and the light goes down into Mother Earth. You can do that in literally 5 seconds. Now, it took me a little bit longer because I'm explaining it to you. But this is a great tool for you to have anytime you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious. It's also a great tool to start your day. You want to ground yourself. So before you turn on the TV or the news or answer emails or you have to get the kids ready for school or whatever, however your day starts, just do that quick and simple grounding meditation, and your day is going to have a much smoother start. So now, of course, I love my oracle cards, so I'm going to pick an oracle card. Sometimes I pick it at a time, sometimes I don't. I'm going to mix them up because it seems like there's a lot going in one direction, and I like to change the energy up. Oh, and I'm going to read that one, but I'm going to read that one as a secondary card, not as the main card. So this is a tip for you, pro tip. Anytime you are using oracle cards or tarot cards, you can, if a card falls out of the deck, you use that card, but you put it aside. I'm going to just pick the card up. And then you want to select your card. The idea of selecting the card is that your energy is picking the card rather than it just falling out of the deck. When it falls out of the deck, it's a jumper card, and it is good for more energy, but I never read those as the main card because you want to be, you're in sovereignty and control of your life, and so you want to pick your card. So I'm going to ask Spirit, how can we all best serve in the next 30 days? Because this show we tape about every 30 days, and then there's a new show that comes on. And it doesn't matter when you see the show, even if you see it and it's 6 months from now, trust that the energy will apply. Oh, interesting. So it's co-create in protection. Let me just move my glasses out of the way there. And co-create, as you can imagine, is about co-creating, which means not doing it yourself, but you're doing it with others. You're doing it with the divine, with your higher power, whatever you call that. For me, I grew up in the Catholic Church. I call it God, but I have studied many religions, and I can't say that I'm a Catholic. I am a multi-spiritual person. I'm not religious, but I am very spiritual. And so I might say universe. Usually I say universe or spirit or the all that is, because to me, that's what it really is. And so when it comes to protection, that's to remind us that we're not doing this alone, and that we have a higher power, a source, a universal energy to be able to connect into that can help us in our everyday life. So you really want to remember that we're not alone. Look, we're living in a crazy time right now here in the US. There's no way that you can miss it. Even, I know some of my friends live down south, and it's very interesting. They get completely different TV and news than we do. And it's fascinating to me that they do. So some of my friends had no idea of what's been going on for the last 6 months or year, or even what's going on now to the level that, other of us are aware. And so this is a reminder to co-create, to tap in to spirit, to tap into source. And you can do that through prayer. You can do that through a meditation. And I want to share the second card with you. This is the card that fell out of the deck. And this is leg up. And leg up means you've got help, you have assistance. And so it works perfectly with the co-create card. So how you turn that card around, which is the key, is you connect into source, you connect into spirit, and you're going to get assistance. You're going to get help. You will get a leg up from source, from spirit, from God, from, again, whatever you call your higher power. And so the help is there for you. So that's really a great thing for us to know, because we need all the support we can get right now. You know, look, things are not easy out there. They're kind of crazy. And I spent a lot of time with my grandmother growing up. And my grandmother did this work, although she read ordinary playing cards. It was really interesting to me. And I've only actually seen one other person read playing cards. It's very rare these days. But before there were all these fancy oracle cards, people read playing cards as a form of divination. And so she read playing cards, and she also did house clearings and many of the things that I do. And she knew how to fix things with herbal medicine and all that sort of stuff. But one thing that she stressed quite a lot when I was growing up, that in my lifetime, and she didn't know if it was going to be in her lifetime, but she knew definitely in my lifetime, that we were going to have a time in history that is like no other before, that the world was going to completely change as we know it. And we're at that point. We're at that point in time. When you look astrologically, now I'm not an astrologist, I just dabble a little bit, but when you look astrologically, all the 6 outer planets are changing signs. And some of them move very slowly. Neptune has just changed sign. We have 5 others that are getting ready to change signs. And with this change, we are ushering in literally the age of Aquarius. Now, for some of you might remember the song, "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius." Sorry, I know that's off key. But we had a touch of this in the 60s. Now we are fully into it. So what does that mean, and what does it look like? Well, if you think about the 60s was radical change. We had the civil rights movement. We had the Beatles and Elvis Presley and all these, this great whole new music scene that exploded. We had freedoms like never before. And then we also had the women's movement, where women in the 70s, 1974, I believe was the time, was the first time that a woman could get a bank account or a credit card without her husband's signature. So think about that, because really, that was only 50 years ago. Just 50 years ago. 50, almost 2 now. And so that period, that taste that we had of this revolution, of this freedom, of this equality came in, and then the planet shifted back into the old positions, the old areas, and then we just kept moving forward. But the age of Aquarius wasn't ready to grab hold. It was just a taste. Well, now we're in it. We've got some significant changes coming, and we're fully in the age of Aquarius. So what does that mean? That means we're going to have advances in science quicker than you can blink. Just look at AI, right? The last year in AI, a year ago, you could make an AI clone, didn't really look too much like you. The lips didn't match the words. The expressions were funny. You might have had 5 fingers on one hand, or, weird things sticking out of your face. Now you can barely tell the difference between if it's the real person or if it's AI. By the way, I am the real person. We're recording this live in the studio, not AI, okay? So we're going to see fast advances in technology that is going to be unbelievable, mind-blowing technology. We're also going to see more advances in science, in medicine. Unfortunately, in the United States, some of these things are a little bit stalled or delayed because of what's happening with funding, but I'm not going to get into all that so much. But we will see other countries advance in medicine, and we will still see some advances here. It's just that a lot of the research money has been taken away. That's all I'm going to say about that. But other things, I just saw there's a flying car that is being tested right now. How cool is that? The Jetsons are going to be real. We're going to have flying cars. They expect maybe by 2030. And that'll clear the roadways up a little bit. So back to my grandmother and this time. And my grandmother, she was always very serious when she talked about this time, that it was predicted in every culture around the world. Doesn't matter what culture you look at. When you go to the Aboriginal cultures and the Native cultures and spiritual communities, they've all talked about this time period. And here we are. And the planets and the astrology is supporting this time, right? So when an old system or an old way of being is dying, it gets really loud before it finally crumbles in the rubble. And that's what we're experiencing now. It's getting louder, and it's going to get louder. This year is going to be fast. It's going to be furious. We're coming into the year of the fire horse in Chinese astrology, which starts February 17th. But that energy is already starting to pick up. So things are going to change quickly. And you think about, what does fire do? It burns things. Okay? So things are going to burn down. But in the burning down of things, there's an opportunity for new life, new generation, regeneration. And so I want you to think about that as we go through this period of time. A couple of things. What is your part in all of this? Because you chose to be here on the planet right now at this time. I have some friends who are really struggling, and they are saying, why am I here? I can't believe I'm here. This is so awful. But you chose it. They chose it. I chose it. And I'm going to say I took about a year to really think about this time that we are in and the time that was approaching up to this point, and doing a lot of deep reflecting. And how can I help? What is my mission? What is my purpose? How am I to serve is the real question during this time. And one of the ways that I know I'm here to serve is to help you. It's to bring you tools that can help you through the chaos. It is to give you some guidance and direction, and to let you know what kind of energies that we have coming and facing us, so you're better prepared. And times like this are an opportunity for you to really discover who you are at your core, to really find out how resilient you are, how strong you are, and what you want your world and the world around you to look like, because that's where we're at. This is the point in time where we get to choose what we want our future and the future of the United States, and extending beyond that, to look. And so I ask you to take some time to go deep within, to really ask yourself, what are my values? What am I for? Because it's easy to know what we're against. It's harder to know what are we for? What am I for? Because Mother Teresa was once asked, and I may have said this before on a show, I don't remember, to come speak in the United States at a rally. And it was, her response was, no, thank you. When you have a rally for peace, I'll come. And this has been sort of a back and forth a little bit for me, because I have an activist archetype. We all have many archetypes that we work through, that we live through. And one of mine is an activist and a hero. And it took me a long time to accept that archetype. And I went through 3 years of healer school, and that's, where I started learning about archetypes. And this is based on Carolyn Mace's work, if you want to research more about that. And a couple of things happened during healer school and before healer school as well. And one of my teachers said to me, just a thought, but I want you to think about you having a hero archetype. And I thought, wow, that's pretty heavy, right? Now, not like Superwoman or Wonder Woman or whatever, but where I'm out, dodging, fighting the bad guys that way. But to own an archetype, you have to have lived some of the experiences. And I have saved 2 people from choking. I saved someone from, after a car accident, laying in the middle of the road, I saved them from getting run over. And there's one other thing, and it just escaped my mind. There was another thing. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, so the point is, to own an archetype, you have to have lived some element of it. And that's a little bit of a struggle for me, because sometimes I will rush in and I feel like I need to be everybody's hero. Okay. So if a friend or a family member messages me or calls me up and says, hey, I have this problem, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I'm on the computer, I'm on the phone, I'm trying to figure out how to help them get through this. And I really had to sit back this last week and realize that I'm not meant to fix everything for everybody in my life. And I have to really pick and choose what is mine to help with and what isn't. And so that comes with that hero archetype, because you want to rush in and save the day. And this applies to a bigger picture of what was going on now in the world. And so I'm working on figuring out, what is my part in all of this? Activism, definitely. Spreading the word of what we're seeing, because believe what you see, absolutely. And this is an opportunity for me to sort of step into the person that I chose to be in this lifetime. And this is an opportunity for you to do the same. So maybe you have a activist archetype. Maybe you're a musician. Maybe you're a songwriter or a singer. And so now maybe this is time for you to write some music that can help people, soothe people, encourage people during this time. Maybe you're a poet. Maybe you're a nurse. Maybe you're a doctor. Maybe you're an educator. So what can you do to first help yourself? Because we have to acknowledge our feelings, because we're all having feelings right now, no matter what side you believe or what side you're on, or this is not about sides. This is about feelings, and this is about how we want to move forward in the world. So I ask you to search deep into your humanity, into your humanness, touching your soul. Part of my mission is to help everyday people with their lives to be who they really are, to bring that out to the world, to be better for themselves and for their families, whatever that might look like. And it might be for people who are meant to be on a global stage, right? So you have to do the work to figure out what your part is and what you're meant to do here in this lifetime. You have a unique contribution. And remember, you chose to be here. So no matter how difficult things get, you made the choice to be here, and you have a particular mission or contribution that you want to put out into the world. But only you can figure out what that is. I can help, I can guide, but you have to figure it out what that is. So I want to give you another tool, and this is a somatic tool. This is helps with releasing things out of the physical body. And I have to do it quick because I'm almost out of time. And it's 6 simple steps. Now, I have a mic on, so I have to be careful. And the first thing that you're going to do, and this is to help with grief, you're going to just rub your chest lightly, and you're going to close your eyes and breathe in. I would do this for a minute or so. And then when it feels like that's complete, then you're going to tap your chest gently. You're not going to beat it like Tarzan. You're just going to tap your chest gently, continuing a nice, easy breath. And then you're going to rub your shoulders like this. Do it 5 or 6 times on one side and then the other side. And then you're going to move to your neck and basically do the same thing. Hold your hands on the back of your neck for a couple of seconds and then just bring it down. And again, you can do that a couple of times as well. And then you're going to shake your hands out. I do this when I do healing work or Reiki, which I don't do a lot of hands-on healing work or table work anymore. I do occasionally when I have in-person clients, or if I'm doing an event and somebody needs some healing right there. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, but I am a certified Reiki master double and a certified full spectrum healer. So you shake it out, shaking the energy out. And then you finish, again, with a gentle hand over the chest. Just breathing in. And you may add a mantra if you'd like. All is well, and I am divinely guided. It's a simple, easy mantra. All is well, and I am divinely guided. And trust that you'll be in the right place at the right time, right when you need it to be. Because we don't know what our future is going to be. Now, I am a psychic and I do predictions, but nothing is written in stone. Everything is co-created with our higher power and spirit. And when we look to spirit for guidance, we can move through the world in a more easy way. We have a leg up, we have assistance. So if you don't have a meditation practice or some kind of spiritual practice, I really encourage you, this is the time to dive into that now. It's going to help you tremendously during this period of upheaval that we're in and that we're facing. And so I thank you so much for being part of my world. Please email me. And I know the last show I offered a printout, a PDF with essential oils that could help for the holidays. We couldn't do it through the show. So if you just email directly to me, Cynthia@CynthiaFontaine.com. I will get you that, I promise. And if you have anything that you'd like for me to talk about or have any particular guests on the show, please feel free to email as well. I would love to hear from you. And go on YouTube, leave a great review, and look at some of the other shows we have, because there's some really great shows on the channel. And, leave a review, follow the show, follow the channel, and share it with all your friends. And don't forget my friend Jeannie Bundy, Jeannie B, Fun with Art. You want to follow her for sure. Thank you so much for being in my world. And again, if this is your first time, go back and watch some of the previous shows. There's 14 or 15 of them in the log there. And take what works for you. And what doesn't work, just leave it aside. Thank you so much. I really love and appreciate you, and I'll see you somewhere soon.